Hello and welcome to Up on the Roof. Today I have Lex from Janus Electrical. Hello Lex, how are you?
I'm really good, Ria. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Welcome. Welcome today. What are we going to talk about today? I was really interested in the electric truck business that you've got.
Well, I think it's time to talk to the converted. It's about what we're doing at Janus Electric with Class 8 prime movers and being able to electrify existing diesel trucks to go to a fully renewable exchangeable battery solution that we've got with Janus. So, and also new trucks.
Awesome. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about where you came. Where did the idea come from?
Well, my 11-year-old daughter, I have a business that sells diesel fuel and to trucks, and my 11-year-old daughter at the time, she said to me, she said, "Dad, this needs to go. I don't like the fact that a fossil fuel industry business provides for our family." And I said, "Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you, Montana. And I'll see what I can do about it." And I ran into my co-founder, Bevan Dooley, 2 years ago, actually, overseas at a conference. And we hadn't seen each other for probably 16, 17 years. I used to buy a lot of biodiesel off of Bevan back in the early 2000s with his biodiesel plant. And we're in this group, and I said, we got talking. He said, "Oh, I've got an idea for an electric truck." And he said, "Yeah, so have I." He said, "If only the chassis rails were the same width apart." And I said, "Well, they are, Bevan." And he said, "Oh, well, we can make this work." And hence where the journey began. So early in sort of 2020, we started putting a prototype together, and within about 4 months, we had the prototype operational. And now we've expanded out. We've got 5 trucks in conversion at the moment, and we've got 7 customer orders for next year. Starting in March, we're doing conversions to existing trucks and some new trucks for Cement Australia, Fennel Forestry down in Mount Gambier.
That's fantastic.
And we've got a couple. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's an exciting opportunity for the transport industry, because it changes the game for transport operators in the fact that they can go to a green energy, but also reduce their maintenance costs, reduce their energy costs. In some of our modelling so far, we're showing anywhere between a 15 to 20% reduction in operating costs, which flows straight through to the bottom line. The other side is it's fantastic for the grid, where we're going to create a base load in the grid. Because our batteries are exchangeable, we're basically building Australia's largest virtual power network just through our change and charge stations, and we're not reliant on the grid to empty our storage every day. We're emptying it into trucks. So our whole business is based on the principles of being able to re-energise trucks in 4 minutes. So it's quicker than refueling with diesel, and it's creating a standard. It's creating a standard on how trucks can be shifted to electric very quickly. And anyone can participate. You don't need to have a massive grid connection at your depot. And this is one of the issues that our grid faces with the mass electrification of vehicles. I was in Amsterdam in 2019, and they were relaying the grid. And I asked the question to one of the guys there. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, we have to relay it. We've got the highest per capita Tesla population anywhere in the world. And the grid can't handle it. We've had to put laws in about when we plug Teslas in, when we plug electric vehicles in, because it's blacking out the suburbs." So they've got a law over there. You can't charge your electric vehicle at 6 o'clock at night when the grid's in peak demand for housing. So our solution helps cater for that, and our solution allows us to use renewable energy during the middle of the day when renewables in production, demand's not there in the grid. We changed that whole solution. We created demand in the grid for renewables and just give them a guaranteed income, rather than you talk about negative power prices and those sorts of things happening during the day. Hopefully we can smooth that out and keep it as a consistent base load on the grid. Yeah.
Well, I know many people that want to talk to you about their requirements of energy, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing. Is one of the things with Janus is we've got a diverse background in our group. We've got David Nodeth, one of our non-executive directors. He's 50 years out of transport, owned and operated and worked for the multinationals and the public companies, and then there's myself, that's from a transport background for the last 30 odd years, and then Bevan's our technical guy. He's a mechanical engineer for most of his career in alternative energies and building processing plants, and then Tony Fay, our chairman, he's come on to help us go through to that next evolution of potentially an IPO in the future. So
yeah, fantastic. And you said before that you're going to start raising some money, some investment maybe next year.
Yeah, we're looking at a capital raise in February, March to help go to full commercialisation into production and manufacture. So one of the things that we've created through this process is what we call a Janus conversion module, which is it's basically the footprint of a diesel engine. So we have what we call a JCM 350 and a JCM 520. These are the kilowatt ratings of the motors that are in our footprint. So one of the evolutions that we had after exhibiting at the Brisbane Truck Show, a lot of feedback came back from fleet operators and particularly drivers saying, I still want my Kenworth to look like a Kenworth. I don't like the doors on the front. And I still want the branding. I want to feel like I'm still driving a Mack. And
yeah.
Okay, well, let's see how we can fix that. And what we did is we changed our design. So we're no longer loading the battery through the front of the truck. We've developed what we call the JSB, which is the Janus side batteries that go where the fuel tanks are.
Yeah.
And what we've created is a electric motor and gearbox package and all the ancillary services to drive the truck in a footprint of a 15-litre and a 13-litre motor, which the manufacturers already have. So most manufacturers and OEMs, some have their own engines, but some also fit Cummins or a Detroit, and they manufacture to a standard. Well, our JCMs fit that standard and now just fit straight in where the diesel engine was. So our conversion time, where we were looking at sort of 2 to 3 weeks for a conversion, we're going to bring that down to under a week from diesel engine out, exhaust, fuel tanks off the truck to electric motor in the truck, out the other end, and you basically drop your truck off and a week later you've got the truck back.
Yeah, and you're reusing everything, right? You're reusing the whole cell.
Yeah, that's it. So we're using the outside. We're not building trucks per se. We're not a truck manufacturer. Mm-hmm. We're using existing trucks, and that's what we think is the difference. Is that there's great truck manufacturers out there. We just got to electrify them. That's all it is. And it's about maintaining that and growing that industry so that, you know, next year we're going into full commercialisation and manufacture mode. We're looking for around 50 staff of varying skill sets, from engineers to electricians to welders and machinists and those sorts of things. So it's an exciting time for us moving forward. It's great to be involved with this, and it's one of the things we're really grateful for is that the fleet operators are embracing this technology now and looking at it and going, well, we want to make a difference. We want to be accountable for how we turn up and what we do to this planet. So, and it's really good to see. Yeah,
well, it's fantastic. You and your team should be very proud of yourself.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we are. It's reaching milestones that we didn't think were achievable, but we're achieving them very quickly. And a lot of gratitude for the guys that have come on board. We've got some really great engineers and electricians that are there. That are, we're in the building phase of the first batteries, the first motors, the first conversions, and they're just a really great dedicated team. We've got Lawrence and Matt and Sammy and Nathan, just great guys that are involved right from the start, and they've got a passion for it as well too. It's it's like they've found another purpose, another meaning behind this, because it's something that not only are we creating something, but we're giving something back to all sectors of the industry, and that's the framework that Janus works in. Our software system that sits over the top of this, that manages the ecosystem, allows everyone to participate and keeps it simple and keeps it easy, so that an energy provider can sell energy into our network. A fleet operator can use any battery in the network, and anyone can own a battery. Anyone can become a conversion centre. So we've got diesel workshops now at the moment reaching out and saying, hey, we want to be a conversion centre. How do we do it? We've got people saying, how do we buy batteries? We want to own batteries in the pool. And I think what people need to understand is it's like a big swap and go system. We call it change and charge for the batteries. So a truck, essentially what will happen is a truck will drive into a change and charge station. Two batteries will come off. The software authenticates the batteries and basically says, here's your credit back for the energy you didn't use, and here's your charge for your new batteries, your hire component, and the energy content that's in those batteries. One of the big things one of the big things is, as we explained to fleet operators, it doesn't make sense to own batteries at the moment in transport because you're limiting yourself to the technology that is here today. We've had an exciting announcement this week with a partnership with Liss Energy, who's developing a lift.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're really grateful for the guys reaching out, and we had a really good discussion around the technology that they've got and what they're developing. And what it's going to mean for our fleet operators in an initial stage, we'll probably have a double the capacity of what we've got now with some simple changes to the cells. And then once we go to a lithium sulfur cell, we're looking at anywhere from a minimum of 2 to 3 times capacity of the existing batteries. So where we're at the moment, 400 to 600 kilometre range. Yeah, yep. So sorry, it's a great question, Ria. So 400 to 600 kilometres is the existing range with our NMC technology. And it depends on what the truck's towing. So obviously a single truck's going to be around 500 to 600. Yeah. And then B doubles 4 to 500 because of the weight. It's no different to diesel. Energy is energy. Diesel has a certain energy content. Electricity has a certain energy content. And you need a certain amount of energy to pull a certain amount of weight. So it's very, very relative to what the vehicle tows, the weight, where they're operating. If you were running west out of Sydney over the Blue Mountains, you're going to use more energy because you need more energy to get up and down the hills. The beauty of it is, as you're coming down the hills, you're regenerating and getting some of that energy back as well too. So the beauty of electricity is or an electric vehicle is in the regenerative braking. Where with an ICE vehicle, with internal combustion engine, you lose that energy at the exhaust pipe when they're using the engine brakes coming down. Whereas with the electric vehicle, we regenerate and we harvest that energy back into the battery. So there's a lot of that just flows onto a benefit to the fleet operator as well too, as in you're getting energy back, but you're not wearing out brakes. One of the big things too is we've taken the operating temperature. We've taken 40 degrees out of the operating temperature under the vehicle. So that's a huge reduction. That's going to double and triple the life of oils in the gearbox and diffs, and brake life and componentry. Where you remove that heat from under the vehicle, it reduces the maintenance costs completely under the vehicle.
That's absolutely outstanding. How interesting! How amazing! That's fantastic. Yeah. So, how do we get in touch with you?
Yeah, so best way is to reach out via our website, or just which is januselectric.com, or .com.au, sorry, and then or info@januselectric.com.au, and we can start the process from there, or and reach out via those two means, and away we can go.
Awesome! Thanks for the t-shirt.
You're welcome. It is fun to talk to the converted. Same to you. Thanks, Ria.
Bye.